What up, everybody? You're watching and listening to Blerd Empire. My name's Royce, co-host along with my father, Sinbad, legendary comedian. Y'all already know. How you doing, Dad?
Oh, I was muted. I was messing with you, man.
Okay.
I was messing with you, man. See, y'all, what y'all didn't see is the audience. My son muted me on the last time we came up, so I had to mess with him, man.
See, this is the whole thing of why you do multiple takes. People don't have to know about your mistakes. But if you keep pointing them out, I forgot to unmute you. I'm sorry.
Mistakes are needed. Mistakes are needed. I just if you can pull the pebble from my hand. If you get the pebble out of my hand.
This is what I'm talking about. You know, I was trying to make it clean. I was feeling good. I had really good energy on that intro. And then you just had to let people know.
That's what steel sharpens steel, brother. Steel sharpens steel.
Right. Learning. You always teach me. Always teach me lessons.
Man. Yeah,
the hard way. Well, for the people who don't know, go ahead and tell them what Blerd Empire is all about.
Blerd Empire is about black nerds, baby. Black nerds. We've been around since, I guess, from the time black people got to this country, man. The only thing was, when you were a black nerd back in the day, you had to hide in the closet. Now we're coming out the shadows because we've always been reading comic books. We always have done our own thing. And the funny part about it is, nerds was always cool. Now nerds are running stuff.
Right.
Nerds.
We everywhere.
There's levels, though, right? Remember those levels, Royce?
There's always levels.
I took you to a Mac Pro Expo. I said, now that's a socially inept nerd. Those are folks who can't focus. Yeah.
So there's definitely levels. Yeah. You know, we're all one community, and it doesn't matter where you fall, you know, on the spectrum. We're all blerds, and we're just trying to spread that knowledge. And that's what we're all about. 2 generations of black nerds just living that blended life.
About to be three with your son.
I know, right? I know. Got my 5 months. I'm trying to let him discover that path on his own. I'm not trying to force him too much, hopefully. But cool. If I do my job right. But this is episode 22. Maybe I want to say
what
22nd episode? I think so.
Have we done that many?
This is episode 22, and we have a very, very special guest today.
Oh man,
you guys have probably heard us talk about him a lot because for whatever reason, whenever we're talking about a subject, his name always comes up because he's related to it in some way. But now you guys finally get to meet him, and it's the one and only Miguel Wilson, the illustrator, toy designer, product manager, and pop lock extraordinaire.
Whoa.
Without further ado, let's bring Miguel.
Pop lock extraordinaire too.
Pop lock, I like you like that. I just throw it on there.
Man, thank you guys for having me. Thank you so much.
I enjoy it. Thank you for being here, man.
You know what's crazy? What's crazy is this 22nd episode. And Royce, you must have known my birthday was May 22nd. I'm born on the 22nd. So the 22nd episode, and I'm on it.
Man,
my birthday's on the 22nd.
Wow.
That's why you did it, right?
That's exactly
almost the 22nd year.
Oh, man.
It's almost the 22nd year, man.
Oh, my God. It was meant to be.
I was 22 once. I was 22
right? We all were 22 at some point. So this is perfect.
Oh, man. It's crazy.
The stars
crazy.
Man, no, thank you, Miguel, for being on here. And like I said, you guys who've been listening to Blerd Empire for all 22 episodes have probably heard this name come up. Because if you are an owner of one of Sinbad's pins, you're looking at the design right there.
Thank you, Miguel.
Oh,
Miguel,
thank you.
Miguel's responsible
these
for
guys right here.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Absolutely. Pins gave people access to come to my show, come backstage.
Yeah.
I didn't realize every show, Miguel, some people like, hey, I ordered the pins. But
they haven't come.
Yeah. But they left me home. They took pictures of the order. They would take pictures of the order. Yeah,
they're smart. That's smart.
Yeah.
We got into this lockdown. I was waiting to wear mine every chance I got to see you to get some breakfast.
I know, dude. I had to stop the free breakfast one.
Okay.
I had to do. We gotta.
I'm not gonna lie. When you said that was an option that you came up with a pin free breakfast, I was like, you're doing too much.
Stop. I added if you can catch me.
Yeah,
right. That's true.
I'm not going to tell you where I'm eating at. I had to quit giving out the information. I said, you can figure out where I'm eating. I will pay for your breakfast.
So I have a funny story, Sinbad. You probably don't, obviously you don't know or you remember. I mean, I've been a fan for years, and I've gotten to know Royce the last few years. He's super talented family. And one thing that is amazing is I'm a big breakfast guy. I go to we've discussed this before off air.
Yeah,
I go to all the spots. I love to go by myself. Country Deli, CC's, all the shout out spots around, right? And so I've seen you a few times back in the day before we got to know each other. And, you know, I'm just the type of dude, I admired you so much, and you've always been a hero icon to me. I was like, man, I don't want to bother this guy, but I see him, and it's cool to see him. And it was just a dream come true for me to be able to get to know Royce and then work with you. So, and then now we share our love for breakfast. And then I made a pin that gets somebody some free breakfast. So it's just mind blowing.
You're feeding people,
it's mind blowing. It's like a full circle. I'm telling you.
You're feeding people, brother. You feed the world.
Absolutely.
And you know what we're gonna do, Royce? When this is done, when we get back out again, we all gonna be at the Country Deli.
That's right.
Let's do it.
All of us, three of us, and then we're gonna invite. When we're at the deli, we're gonna invite everybody with the pens to meet us at the deli. We're gonna tell them the day of. It's gonna be like a food truck. The day of. This is where we're at the deli. If you want to join us, you got your pen. I got your breakfast.
And I'm gonna have to hit them up to paint Sinbad on the wall in there next to Clint Eastwood.
There we go.
I know, man. they got Gene Wilder. They got all the old Hollywood. Yeah. But damn. If I get on the wall, I'm old. That means I'm old Hollywood. Listen, look at that old picture.
It would be fitting for the Cherokee kid though, because everyone's like Western in there.
Yes.
That would be it.
Yes.
Perfect. That would be it. I'm ready.
It's perfect. We got to make that happen. Now, to fill you guys in who are listening a little bit more about Miguel. Miguel, I mean, obviously, I could say he's super talented, super awesome, all that stuff. But his resume, I feel, speaks for itself. This guy, he has worked for Capcom. I could just stop there, but we're going to keep going. He's worked for Capcom, Sony, Fandango, Bandai Namco, Natsumi. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Natsumi.
Natsumi. And his kind of like most recently what he does now is he works with Hasbro on various projects. Yeah,
who has he not worked with?
That has
easy to name the two people he hasn't worked with.
Hey, Sinbad down there too.
and now Sinbad. So, man. So honestly, like with that resume, and we'll get into your dancing later because that's a whole other side.
Man. Yeah, that's a whole nother phenomenon.
That's a
whole nother phenomenon, man.
I just thought your drawing and all that stuff, your designs. I thought that was enough, and then you were like, oh, by the way, I used to be an amazing dancer, and I was like, what?
No.
Yeah, but he threw it out there. It's the way he threw it out there. It's the way that.
Right.
Yeah, you know, I did my own thing. I did my own thing.
Here's my YouTube video showing how amazing I am.
No, man. It's got to be, I think, look at dance as like a superpower nowadays, or at least we're locked down. You could be at a party or at a nightclub, and you play it cool, man. And then if you can start hitting some moves, it turns some heads. People are like, what? This guy's got a superpower.
Right.
The funny thing is if you could dance, all the people I know they could dance, and I could just speak for myself, is I don't like to show out or be dancing all the time. And whenever I tell friends that, they're like, that's such a superhero thing to say. Obviously, you're not going to use your superpower all the time.
This is true.
No, it's got to be the right mood. It's got to be the right moment. I'm not going to, because people are like, if I could dance, I'd walk around all town just dancing and doing crazy moves. I'm like, man, no, you wouldn't. You got to.
Well, that's what people say with no talent. The people that can't box. Man, if I was in shape, I'd never wear my shirt. Well, that's because you fat.
Yeah.
People see, we always say that stuff when we don't have it because we can't imagine having it. Now, I'm gonna tell you something, Miguel. Before we get started, Royce could crunk and all that stuff. Did he ever tell you that?
Yeah. Royce, I know Royce he was a man of many talents.
Royce wouldn't tell nobody. Royce wouldn't tell nobody. I told his wife. I told a bunch of people. I said, yo, Royce can crunk. He did this. Oh man, come on, man. I said, y'all do know Royce can dance. He had to bust it out, man.
My crumpy days are behind me. I don't have the proper ligament power, the type of energy that goes into that anymore.
What's funny is we're talking about me, but I'll put it on the Blerd right now podcast that Royce has like all the same attributes I have. He just doesn't talk about them all the time.
Thank you. He does the same thing.
Martial artist, dancer, creative. I mean, come on, man. We can flip the script on you right now.
First of all, let's be very careful throwing dancer in there. All right, let's not even
serious, man. And rapper. We don't go there. And rapper.
I knew about rapping. Royce always tells me just don't talk about the rapping. I'm like, you can rap.
Don't talk about rapping, man.
play drums, play bass, play piano.
Man, that's
there's
way more than I can do.
There's a difference between playing and doing something and then like, oh, hey, I did that like once or twice, which I feel like that's kind of what I did. I just did that.
If you do once or twice and you had the skills, though, it doesn't matter. You had the natural talent.
Matter.
That's
it
right.
Don't matter. It don't matter, bro.
But guys, before we jump into me, I got to throw this out there before I forget. Okay. Sinbad, what's going on with you popping up on every current documentary that comes on now on TV?
Man.
I saw you on The Last Dance, and then you were on the iconic Hispanic community icon Walter Mercado's. Did you know you're on that documentary too? You're interviewing Walter. I'm like, Sinbad is everywhere.
I forgot, man. I forgot in the Latin community. I was the man because Walter. Man, you saw what he said about me.
Yeah, greatest comedian. You greatest comedian.
I got some issues with it. He said, you are going to be the comedian of the millennium. Well, dude, which millennium was you talking to? Is this the next 100? Am I the next 100?
First of all, I mean, you got the blessing from Walter. I mean, you're set for life. I mean,
yes,
pretty much. That is true. We're gonna see what other documentaries we can get you thrown into.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm on a lot of documentaries.
I know you'll be in LeBron's in the future coming up here.
Oh, dude, you know what? I'll be in LeBron's. You know what's funny? I'll be in LeBron's from afar because I think I'm so much older than LeBron that he doesn't even know. He's heard about it. He sees how I talk about it. I talked to him a couple of times, but he doesn't know how many hits I take.
Right.
For years. I'll be taking hits and smackdowns. I took hits for Allen Iverson. Me and my son took hits from Big Boy and Will Smith. I said, I don't care.
We're loyal.
I tell you, I'm throwing it out there just to give my man some love. I was a diehard. I told you, Rafer Alston, Skip to my Lou fan. I took so many hits against Rafer my whole life.
No, man. Rafer was bad, man.
Yeah, man. That's my dude, man. Fresno State. But sorry, Royce, I'm getting you off your whole list, Royce. I'm talking about the Atkins family instead of it being about me. That's all right, though.
No, but this is good, though. This is good because now people know your personality. They know what you're about. You know what I mean?
I watch documentaries with Sinbad.
Right. You like Skip to my Lou. Like, these are all important things, man, that don't always come out by asking questions.
He don't fit a Blerd. See, Miguel don't fit a Blerd. He got a life. See, he said about, dance. I went to the game. Most words. Well, I went to his animation. I was at his animation conference. Oh my God. He had a 3D printer and they were printing 3D in a way I've never seen. I'm trying to get on the list. I'm trying to call Connie Williams, who's in charge of that company. I'm like,
Sinbad and Royce, you don't know how much I related to when you guys did one of your first podcasts at where were you guys at? NAB or what was it? What convention was it?
NAB.
Oh,
NAB, man.
Yeah. And when you guys were there, I just understand from the cons I've done exactly what you're saying is like, there's people that are into something and they're nerds, but they've never lived any type of socializing life or just having a personality on their own. And then, like you said, nowadays we got cats that have seen both sides of that, being able to go out and socialize, have a personality and like all this stuff. And you could just really see that difference when people don't have that ability. Like you said, you go to booths too, and people sometimes don't even know how to talk to you at these conventions at booths. And that I understood and connected with that 100% because it's like, come on, man, you got to know how to communicate with some people too. If you're going to, you can't just be locked all day down, just only paying attention to animation or art.
You get talent and you can't get to people because you can't talk to them.
Yep.
Right.
See, most of the nerds that don't even realize this is a quarantine. This is normal for them.
Right.
So they don't know. They don't even know about COVID. They're going outside. Where's everybody? No, dude, we got locked down.
Right.
Exactly.
Oh man, but let's jump into Miguel and some of your amazing work. Actually, really quick before that, if you guys watched and listened to our last episode where we interviewed storyboard revisionist Gerald K. If you didn't watch and listen,
it's an awesome dude.
Do that now. It's awesome. Really good insight into the animation world, and he's super awesome, super just down to earth, talented man. And actually, how we got that interview set up was through Miguel. So it was
that's right.
Yeah. So Miguel, you knew Gerald. You're like, hey, man, you got to interview this guy. He's dope. And I'm like, hey, man, if you think he's dope, he's dope. And then we had him on. And I was like, oh, you're more than dope. So
one thing,
voiceover, man.
Yeah,
Miguel. Hey, I'm Joe K. I said,
so much bass, so much bass, and he's the nicest. He's the nicest dude with the most bass you could get. Like he's got the bully's voice with the nicest personality. He got Debo's voice with the super nice guy. But let me tell you, Gerald is so kind that I know there's a lot he didn't say as well because he's so humble as well. And there's one thing I want to add. When I heard Gerald's thing, it was great. It was amazing. You guys are all awesome on it. I had a good time listening. One thing I want to mention is I went to college with Gerald. You know, we were in those animation classes together that he was speaking on. So we were hanging out, you know, doing work, homework, chilling out. I've known him since we were back in college. And one thing I will say is he talked about a storyboard class we got at CSUN. I'll make it quick. That professor was one of the most ruthless, like just cutthroat type of professors in that class, and I respected that. But let me just say this about Gerald: I don't really know anybody that got an A in that class but Gerald. He got an A in that storyboard class, and all of us were struggling to get a B or a C in that thing. So that's one thing I know Gerald wouldn't mention, but I wanted to say he was a bad dude already at a young age that had to see good camera angles and cinematography for storyboarding. So respect to Gerald again, man.
That's so awesome. I wish he would have flexed and just like, so in college I took this.
I got the only A.
I was the only one who got an A. It's whatever. Next question.
But it would have been like, I was the only one that got an A.
Yeah. Right.
I wish he had more like hip hop in him. Yo, I'm the best.
Yeah.
I was the best.
Yeah. No. You can't. Hey,
man, Miguel didn't get no A.
Hey, Sinbad, Royce, listen to this. Well, the first time Gerald saw me dance in college, this was his description. I can't make this up. Gerald goes, "Whoa, Miguel, it's like a ghost of a breakdancing Michael Jackson spirit took over your body." Like that was this dude's description. Like that's how you know Gerald's mind was already so creative to think of things like. The ghost of Michael Jackson's spirit body was taking over. Okay, Gerald.
You got the animation somewhere. I bet you somewhere in his computer, he got a Miguel ghost dancing like Michael.
Right.
Well, he's working on Dance Machine. I always told him I better be a character in Dance Machine, Gerald.
Right.
I better be a character.
Oh man.
I can't wait for that project. But that's dope. That's awesome, man. Gerald definitely. No, for sure. No, thank you for that. But yeah, now let's dive into you, and I want to pull this up real quick. Because being an illustrator, toy designer, first of all, not a lot of people even have that title, toy designer, but I'm gonna throw this up here. So this is your website, miguelwilsonart.com, just so you guys can kind of see his style and what he's working on. He's done all this artwork. And on top of that, like I was saying, he makes toys, he makes action figures. So this thing right here, this is his Captain Jackson action figure, right? And looks amazing. First of all, I'm like, what? Like, really? You do that? And then to top it all off, look at this packaging. look at the detail in all of that. And he also makes pins. So here's an example. Michael Jackson pin. And then this is on the right this is actually your newest action figure, right? Torture.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll throw that up there real quick so people can see. So Torture, pretty much is.
Wait, man! Is this the evil Michael Jackson?
Yes.
Did you make an evil Michael Jackson?
Yeah, the ruthless.
Evil Michael Jackson. So I'll throw the original one back up real quick. So Captain Jackson, I think it's safe to say is inspired by Michael Jackson.
Pretty safe. Yes.
Pretty safe. Yeah. And so then we have the evil doppelganger to that.
Being torture.
And I'm assuming at some point there's going to be a super epic showdown between the two.
That's right.
Oh, dude, man. You got my mind blown. You got my mind blown on that already.
Oh, thank you.
Later on, I'm going to ask you a question about something, man.
Thank you. And we got to drop later another one I did because Sinbad owns the only one in existence. But we talk about that later.
Yeah. We got some more.
Okay. You're like, let's slow it down.
But I wanted to throw that out there because we know illustrators, and obviously you have great artwork, and we can go a little bit more detail of that stuff as well. But like, at least in my experience, I haven't met a lot of people who can say they're a legit toy maker and have their own line of action figures. Yeah. And those action figures, you have your own universe for them, right? They're the
Space Knights.
Space Knights of the Retroverse.
Yes, that's it.
Because that's the thing. It's like you're really you're big into the 80s and 90s, right?
Yeah, 80s, 90s culture, just what I grew up with as a kid. Mm-hmm. I'm all about the music, the fashion, the music, especially. You know, I came from a family where my dad was always playing music growing up, and he used to tell me about in the 70s when he'd go see James Brown perform live, and you know, I'd listen to a lot of funk and soul, Earth, Wind and Fire. And so when Michael, you know, blew up in the 80s and I was a kid, that was like a hero to me, man. And you know, everyone that came after that too, in that type of genre of music. So that just, to this day, steered a lot of my inspiration from the 80s cartoons, the 80s movies, the 80s music, and early 90s, all that time period. I'm in love with it still to this day. And I think it has a lot of good memories and lifestyle about it. So I kind of transfer that into my work that I'm doing for myself right now.
Man, you remind me of the best, and this is one of the biggest compliments. He passed away. I didn't know he had passed away. I called his wife, man. It's like I told Royce about a few months back to talk to him. I hadn't talked to him in a while. Was an animator. Well, he's a man. I can't get the right word for it. He's like you. He did everything. He could draw. He like a clothing line. His name was Rex Perry, and he worked at Disney. He had created all these shows, and Disney would not buy these black shows. And I wish I could find. I got to talk to if I could find these and bring them back to life. What he did, and you remind me of him because, dude, he's from Chicago, and he's like you, Miguel. He cool as hell. He's a nerd. But his parents made him go to like the Chicago School of Art. They said, no, you're gonna get off the streets. You're gonna use your skill to do this. And you mind you could have gone a whole different path. You could be like, you could not be this dude making these toys. You could be. There's a lot of guys who draw, and they just became taggers. You know what I'm saying? Not saying this is not a skill, but there was, man, you could be making toys. You could be clothes. You could be, dude. There's a bigger world out there. You know. And I'm glad you took your skill level and went to you went to a whole nother level with it, bro. And I'm hoping people watching this realize it's not just about doing one thing in this business.
Right.
You've done it all, man, which is great. And you're not done. And you're not done.
Yeah.
That means a lot. Thank you so much. Yeah. I think that that's one thing I would tell anyone and everyone listening is like, when I was in college, going back to that period of time, I was studying animation, but I loved collectibles. I loved toys. Obviously, I loved to dance. I loved hip hop culture. You know, obviously grew up listening to a lot of good music, and I just combined all those things, cartoons, movies, and see where that path took me. And like right now, I'm actually trying my hand at traditionally sculpting. That's what I'm currently working on, is practicing sculpting things myself as a sculptor. So the game is to constantly challenge yourself. Try to always get better. I try not to stay too comfortable. Like, you know, if I go back to a dance analogy, it was like, I remember I taught dance a long time in Fresno, and I could tell when I was teaching it a lot and not taking class or learning from other people, I felt like I was getting real stale. Because all I was doing was teaching all my knowledge, but my body wasn't learning any new muscle memory to learn some new moves. So in order for me to stay crisp and to get even better and better, it's good to get out and see what other people are doing, see what else inspires you, see how else you can move your body and dance or whatever it may be. And that inspires other movement. That's how I feel. And the same thing with art is like, you know, if I'm used to drawing, sketching a certain way, and maybe I haven't sculpted, or maybe I haven't tried to paint, or maybe I haven't tried this or that, then I want to try that too, because it could spark something else for my drawing, or it could spark me to get passionate about something else and grow there. So that's kind of where my mindset was at since college, to constantly try to grow and challenge myself.
Well, you know what you just said? You said a key thing, teaching and learning at the same time. Remember, people say, well, teachers teach and other people create. And that's a lie. Teachers used to create, and the problem is you start teaching, and sometimes you get frustrated with a kid who's a lot of talent because you said, well, I know what you should be doing, but I think when I look at the teachers at Berklee School of Music, like, you know, Terry Lynn Carrington, while she's teaching drums, she's also still doing a tour.
Yep.
So, you know, you're like this, I'm teaching these kids, but let me push myself. I'm teaching these kids, but let me push myself. So every time I come back, I'm hitting you with something else. And they go, wow, you never stop learning. So I'm writing down, I guess I got to learn to do graphics and stuff. Okay, I got it. I got to do graphics.
Or just hire Miguel.
Yeah.
I gotta learn how to do. I gotta learn base. I cannot draw. I can't. I tried. I cannot draw.
You could draw. I mean, Royce is drawing right now. He thought he couldn't draw either.
Miguel draw. Another thing you didn't say, Royce used to draw. Miguel, Royce used to draw. So if I can just if I can manipulate images to put up, instead of always ask somebody to make a logo for me or make this, if I can manipulate stuff that's already existing on Canva and Pixelmator and say, okay, until I get to the next place, if I can do that, I'm happy.
Yep.
Then I'm not a victim anymore.
Yeah.
Then I'll see what else that takes me in, try and do photography and stuff. But why don't learn all that, man?
Yeah, it's pros and cons to everything too. Like I understand, like learning a new craft could be hard. It could take time. There's a learning curve there. But a lot of the pros are really beneficial. When you learn to do something yourself, you also see the value in it. You know what people could be charging you, how much they're charging you. Is it worth their time, your time, things like that, And, everybody's different. But I look at it as like, with my crafts, it's, I don't know if anyone's really mentioned this before. You've heard this, but I know one professor I used to like in college used to always say, somebody would come at him for a drawing, can you do this for me? How much is it? He'd throw out a price and they'd say like, why is it so expensive? I know you could draw this in 30 minutes. And he goes, well, you're not paying for how fast I could draw this.
Yeah.
You're paying for the last 15 years of my life that got me good enough to be able to draw it in that amount of time.
I like that.
You know what I mean? So that to me that's a different skill. You can't really say how much you put a price on that. Like, it's not about how, quick you think I could do something. It's about the talent, the skill, the creativeness that I've put in throughout my years to be able to do this for you. Don't worry about how long it's going to take me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as you just said, Royce goes to that. Remember, Royce, hey, can you edit this for me? I said, y'all understand.
Yeah.
You're paying for the quickness because of the knowledge. So there is a reason it's the quickness. So
right.
You're not paying because I did in 30 minutes. You're paying because I know how to do this in 30 minutes.
Right.
I'll get that fool that do it for you in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Get the other dude. Yeah. He's out there.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing, Miguel, that I love about you, is that you like the attention to detail that you pay, you pay attention to detail with your work, and like you will focus on the smallest things. And I just want to bring this up again because I just think, if you're looking at this action figure, right, the packaging, it has that retro old school collectible action figure feel. You even got a token, a coin on the bottom there, and you could have easily gone like the other way and was just like, all right, I'm just gonna throw this in a box, or just put some foam around it and I'm good to go. But no, you're like, let me go the extra mile and actually put this in a case to where somebody actually could just collect this. And it doesn't matter that it's not from like a big named like toy company, but it still has that feel. And that I think that type of work or that type of attention you put into literally everything that you do. And that's what I admire so much. And you like push me to be better because I see like how hard you're working. And I'm like, okay, cool. When I do my stuff, I got to come correct,
Oh man, yeah. Everybody's hustling. Thank you so much. I mean, I will tell everyone this. You help me out at times, when I'm doing work with Royce, because we've worked together and we've created together, and it's a lot of fun. Biopunks. I'm looking forward to collabing on Legend of Althea as well.
Oh,
so,
yes.
But I will say Royce helps me out because I get really focused in on every little detail. I look at things as myself as a collector. How can I make it so I enjoy it, so it's perfect, so it's my eyes can see, something flawless. Sometimes I might get a little too caught up in that. And when I work with Royce, I like it because Royce will say, no, man, it's good. Like, just let it be now. I think it looks so perfect. Right. It looks so great. I'm like, are you sure though, man? Because I think I can push this further. Like, leave it. Like,
yeah.
There's nothing else. There's nothing else to be done. But I love that because I'd rather him do that than because I've worked with some artists where they're just like, all right, cool, you good? I'm like, bro, the colors are all off. Like, what is this? Oh, okay, let me fix it. And I'm like, no, you didn't fix anything. Don't trick me. Don't try and send me the same file.
Yeah, you don't know.
Thinking I'm gonna.
Royce, we bring your stuff to us. Look at this. Does this look like this? Yeah. This. And he drew this. Right. He's like, oh, I forgot about the character I was drawing. and then you meet somebody like Miguel like this. How much you think Miguel would cost?
Right.
You don't want, when somebody's your friend, you don't want to insult your friend like this. How much do you think you get? How many you think your best friend is?
Exactly, man. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I appreciate, man. And
it's a gift and a curse.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. Because I'm like that with film too, so I get it. Now, there's a couple other action figures because pretty much what you do is you make these action figures, you put them up for pre-order, and they sell out. Like the torture figure you put up what, like a week ago? I want to
put it up. It was about a week ago, yeah, and it was up for less than 24 hours. Yeah, sold out.
Yeah, and it sold out, and that just shows you like what you're putting out, that, you know, people love it. And there's another action figure that I want to bring up. There was some controversy.
This is the first time we're talking about it to the world. It's right now on Blerd. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So there's this one action figure.
Blew up.
See if you can guess the inspiration. I'm gonna pull this up real quick. This action figure goes by the name of Jamie Starr in the retro.
They gonna get you. Everybody gonna get you.
I think it's safe to say that this design was inspired by an artist, you know, formerly known as a certain name.
The purple one, right?
You can say it now.
The purple one,
right?
Yeah.
right.
Rick James needed more of his chest showing, and I would have made him more crazy.
James, you won't be in trouble, right? So
that's right.
It's Rick James, right?
Yeah, that's Rick. That's a little slick Rick for you right there.
So you put up this action figure, Jamie Starr.
Yes.
This is after you did Action Jackson, right? So Action Jackson was first.
Yeah. Captain Jackson.
Captain Jackson was first.
But I should do a Apollo Creed. Yeah, Action Jackson. No.
Yeah, right. I know.
But no. Yeah, Captain Jackson was first, and that I did two versions of it. So to tell you the story quickly, Captain Jackson was first, like a prototype run. I wanted to see how I could pull this off. This was my first custom figure I'm doing. I only made 10 of them. And I debuted it at Designer Con. That thing sold out in a day as well. So I said, all right, let me take this to another level. Now, the first time I did it, it came out in a box with some foam. I did the alternate arm pieces, all this and that. And then the next time I came out with Captain Jackson, I did a run at 25. And that's when I did that retro blister card packaging. So things were going well. That sold out quick. And I was like, you know what? Let's keep the retroverse going. And I can't have Captain Jackson without Jamie Starr, you know, AKA I could say it's based on Prince. Yeah. And that got so much publicity, you know, and the Prince fans are diehard. So as soon as I posted a picture of that on social media, like every Prince fan reposted it. It was reblogged everywhere because they were thinking it looked so official. They were thinking this thing was like an official product.
I'm a member of the official club. You know that, right? They just brought me in as a member. I've been hosting all these different panels with the Prince dude. If you need somebody to bring you into the group,
wow,
I can bring you in.
Man, I would love that. The thing is, so I debuted at Designer Con. I had some prototypes on display.
Okay.
And everyone asked about it. Everyone wanted one. I did a little pin for him as well. Some cool concept art I had out. And I took a pre-order. And I was only doing 25 figures. I feel like the estate didn't know how many I was doing. They probably thought I was doing 2,500 to 5,000 of these things. But I only make small artistic runs. So I did 25. Pre-order had sold out. And obviously then I got the cease and desist from the estate because there wasn't a licensed product. Yeah. And so I refunded everybody, and they just told me, you know, stop with all the Jamie Starr merch. I had no idea. I didn't know that he actually owns the rights, because Jamie Starr, I called him, it's an early stage name for Prince. One of the early stage names. So I didn't know he owns the rights to his early stage names. He even owns the rights to that outfit on Purple Rain. Like, that's his outfit.
What?
So they showed me like they broke it down for me when they showed me everything.
You know, the genius of branding. Is Prince not a genius?
I mean, and I switched up the cloud guitar. I made it more crazy retro look in my own style, so I didn't copy it. So I mashed it up with a keytar. So that's why it kind of looks like cloud, but it also has a keytar vibe. And even that mashup, you know, nothing was enough. Look at this.
Yeah, there we go.
Beautiful. There it is. There it is. Jamie. So yeah, it was crazy, but it was also kind of fun. Like, for me, at least, I knew to stop. You know, I wasn't making anything else, but just getting a cease and desist from the Prince, you know, estate. I have that letter.
It's an accomplishment.
It's an accomplishment, bro.
What's that?
We need to get you back in with them, bro.
Yeah, and everybody loved it. Like, I wish I could show them how many Prince fans came to my booth the year after, which was last year. Last year Designer Con. So many Prince fans come by, just so sad and bummed. Like, man, all I wanted was that figure you made. Obviously, you know, I made it again in my style universe. So it's these big buff kind of action figure looking guys that I grew up playing with, was like these, you know, super macho buff action figures. And so I made them like that. And so obviously I had already been talking to Royce for a while now. We became good friends. And Royce was another person that was like, dude, I love this figure. My dad would love this. Like, this is Prince. I was like, man, I only have my one painted prototype. You know, I got to figure this out. And so, you know, Christmas time last year, I told Royce, you know what, man, Royce is all doing his surprise. But I was like, I said, yeah, he had asked me already before, you know, if it could be a gift for his dad. And I said, man, let's do it. So everyone knows out there in the Prince estate, I'm telling you now, I gave it. It's a gift. Nothing got sold to Sinbad for Christmas. He's got it.
They know what the state, the people say, they know who I am.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you in with them, bro. I'm going to get you on the phone with them. I'm serious, bro.
That would be awesome. I would love that.
The fan club with them. I'm telling you, man, I think it's actually, I'm texting right now. I'm texting my dude.
You could send them. I stopped selling everything. So I even got pins we could send them to give them.
Dude, be the man. You're going to make me the man.
Yeah. Let's do it. We can send them a whole pack. We give them a Prince Sinbad pack. We'll give them
there we go. Look at those.
I'm down with it.
Look at that. And that's what's great is like the uniqueness of it and like your skill set. I think that's why it blew up so much the way it did in that fan base, because of your unique style. Because I mean, that's great that you just made them all buff. But like again, like the attention to detail, like those, like the arms move, and you even had on here. I'll bring it back up. The dove on his shoulder.
Yeah. So the story for that, if I could tell it, is in the universe. I try to give everybody a mashup of certain things from the era. Michael Jackson has on a Nintendo Power Glove. Captain Jackson. He's got this Power Glove of power. Jamie Starr, we were like, man, what if he had his white dove that chilled with him that he sent out like recon before he went to battle, and he sent the dove back? And what if we named the dove like the Revolution, like take off, go out there? The dove went out there for him or something. You know, Jamie Starr came back, told him the plan for battle, and he had this.
You just pitched that movie there.
What's that? Yeah, there, the Space Knights of the Retroverse. Hey,
yeah.
Wait, hey, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm just gonna drop it right now so everyone knows. Royce knows. I've already started the next sketches, and Sinbad knows as well because Sinbad's coming next. His buff action figure.
Yes,
Sinbad in the Retroverse.
It's happening.
It's happening. I'm gonna make it work. Everybody could leave it in the comments right now too if they'd like. I was originally wanting to draw Sinbad in the most retro 90s gear that I always remembered him in, and Royce was always stopping me and saying, no man, let's put him in the pants with the colorful shirt. I said, I like that outfit, but I go, no man, your dad told me, and when I remember him from all the videos is the biker shorts with the fanny pack. You got to let me do the. Royce said, don't do it. I said, he's got to have on the biker shorts and the fanny pack. Royce, come on, man.
It's whatever he wants.
You said you can put parachute pants on me. Yeah, you can put parachute pants over the biker shorts.
There it is.
And the power pack, that fanny pack, and all my tools. Yeah, and all my power supply.
There it is. See, the fanny pack, I already know. I'm gonna make it out of a stretchable like rubber. Right. So you can take it on and off the figure. The fanny pack. It's gonna be hard. I'm telling you. I'm ready.
Yeah, but I mean, it'll look great. It's mainly for scarring for me and seeing my dad have to walk out with biker shorts. Like that's just normal attire.
Yeah. Hey man, but at least he didn't do the Tina Turner character I played. It could have been worse.
Yeah. He was Tina Turner for a second. Like the fact that the biker shorts doubled as his going out
everything,
pants,
huh? Trunk,
everything, and then he's like, "Oh, hey, you want to swim? Cool!" And he just jumps in them with the biker. So I guess they were multifunctional. So I understand.
That was a superhero costume. That was a second skin.
Exactly.
You can't find the phone booth to change in.
Right.
Change in, bro.
Right.
But I do want to shout out my buddy Nerdy Chavez. He actually helped come up with the whole universe with me. He's an amazing artist as well, an illustrator. We share a booth at Designer Con. Together, we go under the name Rad Retro Power. That's kind of both of our artwork together. It's been my buddy for many, many years, and I just wanted to shout him out because he definitely is a big part in helping me with all the figures and design work as well. It's our creative thoughts combined.
I love it, man. I love it. Now you have
good stuff, bro.
Yeah. So you have Captain Jackson, you had Jamie Starr, kind of, and so now you have right. Then you had Torture, but now you're working on another one aside from the action figure with my dad and his biker shorts. You got another figure you're working on, which I don't know if you would consider it part of the Retroverse.
Yeah, it's not part of the Retroverse. It's kind of a part of a new line. I'm starting off for it's my own Saturday morning action cartoon series line.
Okay, I love it. And do you want to break it down, Miguel? Do you want to? I'm going to bring it in as you bring it in.
Sure. So I've always been a huge Keanu Reeves fan, and especially everyone went John Wick crazy when that came out. Yeah, and I love to draw things super stylized and simplified and cartoony, again, because I grew up loving all kinds of animation and cartoons. So I did I was already drawing different characters that you wouldn't see normally as a Saturday morning cartoon that are more adult movies, because I thought it was cool to see. I mean, I did Martial Ali already as Blade. That's not even out yet, but I drew him. I drew Ryan Gosling as the driver.
You can find all this on MiguelWilsonArt.com.
Thank you. Boom. There it is. This guy's doing a good job right here hosting. Let me tell you, he's killing it. He's not his first rodeo.
For some of my people, that's Miguel with a Q. Ain't nothing worse than working for Miguel. I've been guilty of it in my past, looking for Miguel with a G. With the Q.
I'm Miguel with the G. I'm Miguel with the G. I mean,
see, I'm going with the Q. I'm not. Don't go with the Q, because sometimes you get Miguel and you go like, damn, what I do wrong? This is the G.
Yeah. My own grandfather, when I was a kid, and my birthday cards, it'd be a Q sometimes. I'd be like, what's going on, Grandpa? Like, I don't like a Q. It's supposed to be a G. Like, I accepted it.
Right. That's the way it should have been.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love all the cartoon characters, stylized characters. So I did, like I said, Driver from Drive. I did a Blade. I did Lost Boys. I loved the Lost Boys growing up, the movie. And I did John Wick. And when I did John Wick, Keanu Reeves, I didn't expect it to get all the attention it did. This thing blew up on social media. Wow. Over 10,000 likes within a day. What? And that's crazy for me. I know there's some big time artists out there that are used to this type of numbers, but for me, that was pretty huge. You get 10,000 likes on an Instagram post. Yeah. So it was pretty crazy to see them like that. And I did a few more versions of John Wick as a cartoon character. So I said, you know what, let's try to make this even myself as a figure for myself. So I went ahead and got it made and got a prototype made and had it on display last Designer Con 2. So it's a whole nother series I'd like to do. It's little statues, cartoon characters. This is a big figure too. This guy's, over 12 inches tall, right? Or no, about a little under 12 inches.
Yeah, man. No, that's amazing. And you said that style is in that kind of the night, old Saturday morning cartoon kind of style, you said?
Yeah, definitely more simplified lines, not too much detail on it. Just tried to keep it simple and capture kind of more of a caricature of the character,
Is that your artwork behind it too?
No, that's a steel book for the movie John Wick I have it displayed with, but that's pretty cool. I mean,
it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
Miguel, he's got his whole action figure setup, collectible setup.
Museum.
It's amazing. It's a little museum and all that stuff. And
see, that's another thing. Yeah. That's another. You got to check it out, Sinbad. That's another thing I could say to the world is, you get these people that. What's the first thing they think? Somebody has an action figure collection. They're a nerd, or they're toys. The 40-Year-Old Virgin movie messed it up for so many collectors.
Right.
It threw off everybody's game.
That's because the girl looked at him you go, if a woman dates a guy who's got a collection, let's get this straight.
Yeah.
If a girl, so I got this room here that I'm in, and I got all my collection, you got to have a curtain on your door until the woman gets to know you.
Yes.
You cannot stay in this room because they look at this room like you're a child or you're a sociopath. But I equate it to this. If you're a woman with a bunch of shoes that you can't wear, but you like them, it's the same damn thing.
That's right. Yep. And that's what I was going to say is I just want to be, hopefully an example or inspire anyone else younger out there that's into things, do what you like and collect what you love and whatever makes you happy and whatever inspires you. I've had so many discussions, even with my own parents. And I was always they were always inspiring me and telling me that, you know what, you should be surrounded by all that stuff. That's the stuff that makes you happy and that you create. and it brings you joy. And you know, I love and enjoy being able to create things that bring someone else joy. So I mean, if that's the goal, you know, be confident in that, and be confident in collecting what you love and what you like. I don't want to name any names or drop anything or pat myself on the back too much, but to all the fellas out there too, or ladies, you know, in my past, I've dated some pretty fine high-end celebrities and models, and they knew I was a toy collector, and there's no problem in it. It's all about, again, just who you are as a person.
You know? But they know before they met your personality, because you got a cool personality. But if somebody had just met you at your house and say, "Can I use your bathroom?" and gone like this, I gotta get out.
Yeah.
Girl, I think I'm gonna get killed up in here.
I would say, if you know, it's a reverse. It'll become the reverse. Then you got girls saying like, "Oh, I love nerds. I love that. I like guys that collect stuff and this and that." And you're like, "Oh, now they like them." You know what I mean? I mean, it's just
a girl still one of your dolls.
It's a
balance. You had a girl still one of your dolls?
No, and it's a disrespectful call it a doll. It's an action figure. No.
How dare you call it a doll?
How dare you? No.
When a girl comes by your house, I go, "I like these dolls," and you're like, "Boy, he's got action figures," and every girl comes by like this. "I like your dolls." He says, "Get out my house."
Yeah,
right.
Dolls.
Yeah,
she took one of them.
No, I feel like it's a balance, though. You know what I mean? It goes back to what we're saying about communication and being at these conventions. I'm not engulfed completely solely in what I do. I have a balance. One thing is like my room. When I go to my room, I don't want to see anything of my work, of toys or nothing. It's kind of my place. It's my place of peace. It's where I unhook all my thoughts that I've been working on. I'm trying to just be more in a calm state in my room. That's the grown and sexy area is the room. You know what I mean? You're not going to find all my work and figures and all my inspiration in my room specifically. But when you get into where I work, my office and whatnot, definitely surrounded by all that. Definitely have a collection of things I love. And again, it's about balance. And I think we need that. That's why they say it's good, whatever your profession or job is, to sometimes do a complete 360 degree or 180, I should say, and like go work out or go do something else. And that's what I like to do to try to kind of keep my mind balanced, because too much of anything constantly in your mind, I feel, is just going to, burn you out.
In moderation, brother. In moderation, everything's allowable.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, that's different. That's different. So with the John Wick, so do you have a timetable of when you're going to release that?
The Wick, I don't. I will say, obviously I have a few outlets I'm working on. I'm talking to get it officially licensed, so that I'm not going to move forward making anything and going into production until I do that the right way, because it's so high end as well. And I've obviously learned a lesson, from Prince, that I want to make sure if it's something that's going on like that right now, I want to see if I can get a license and move forward with it to get it actually officially licensed. So right now it's just
you're smart about Prince.
I'm talking about John Wick.
You were smart about Prince.
Oh, yeah.
They don't license. You was right to throw it. You were right to throw it out. No, bro, I'm gonna tell you right now. You was right to throw that out there.
Yeah.
You was right to throw it out there and see what sticks. Because if you're gone there, it'd been like years. But you put it out there. There's probably somebody that saw it. They deceased it, but they go like, "We like this." You know what I'm saying? If you'd waited, probably never happened.
Yeah. That's the thing too. I really feel like it looked so official, and I make all my marketing little ads and posts on Instagram, social media, so they look like actual toy ads, and I make everything look like professional and nice. That's the goal. Yeah. So I think it looks so official that they were thinking like, this dude's making like 1,500, 2,000 figures. He's going to be selling these like he's going to make bank. You know what I mean? I don't think they knew. It's only a handful. They're just little artistic pieces. You know what I mean? It wasn't going to make me rich or anything.
you were too good at your job. That was the problem.
Yeah. Dang it.
Right. All right. No, but that's awesome, man. And again, like making toys, like that's a different level. Not too many people are doing it. So like, what would you kind of say, as much as you're willing to give, what's the process of even like making one of these action figures?
The process, like time frame wise, or just creativeness?
Creative, like from beginning to end. Like you start off with like a design, a sketch, right? And then do you 3D model them yourself? Do you hire out? How does that work?
Well, for myself, I manage the whole project, and the skills that I do put into it is obviously I conceptualize all the artwork for it. So I design it from the beginning and figure out how I want it to look. It always starts with sketches, initial concepts, and I figure out how far I want to take it. You know, it's more at times than just making a product. You know, that's why even when I've talked to both of you guys, I'm always like, we could do so much. We could do pins, we could do stickers, we could do all these other things. So I take that into account when I start a project. I'm already thinking of when I release this, how much hype can I get around it? How much extra goodies can I give fans? How much bigger can I make this? So I have to plan that out ahead of time. And I tell everyone, organization is the key. I feel like if we do talk about actual superpowers, like being organized is a strong skill set, because I've always taken pride in, you know, every day I write down what I'm doing for the day, what goals I want to hit that day, and checking off what I got to do. So everything starts with just organizing the project from beginning and then figuring out what goals I want to hit when. And then I just start going down my checklist and giving myself timetables so things don't linger too long.
Cool.
So once I figure out what I want to do, I conceptualize it. I draw the artwork. I figure out everything from every end, do turnarounds of the figure, different angles. And for the ones I've done for the Retroverse, I had a good friend of mine who's an industry sculptor. His name's May Thamtarana. He sculpts for like Marvel Legends figures, Gentle Giant. This guy's awesome. So he takes my sketches, I gave them to him, and he sculpted my Captain Jackson and the Jamie Star for me, as well as the Wick.
Nice.
And once you get the 3D render and sculpt, I go into prototyping, which nowadays it's 3D printing. That's the thing now, right? Back in the day, people were always working in-house that were traditional sculptors. They'd have to sculpt a product, and then you'd get revisions. This was a lengthy process. You'd get revisions. Someone would say, you know, we like this, but can we make it 30% smaller? Back in the day, this guy had to redo his whole sculpt to make it smaller. You know what I mean? Now in the 3D rendering of a program, it's just, you know, it's real easy to shrink and expand things. So that helps a lot, all the technology of today, especially for toy manufacturing. So from 3D printing, I get a prototype. You check that out. How does it stand? How do you like the, you know, how everything looks, if you want to tweak anything. But once you have your prototype done, you're going to go in. For me, for these figures, they're mold and casted. They're made out of a silicone mold, and it's a resin mixture material that I use, polyurethane resin. So they have some weight to it. They look really nice and clean. They're not your typical PVC or ABS plastic action figure that you buy at the store. So there's a whole breakdown with that. But, you know, usually when you make an actual plastic figure or things out of plastic, you need a really high quantity because you're going to be using steel tools and an injection mold process. So usually your MOQs for plastic is a lot higher because you're going to be needing to get more profit out of selling a large.
What was that called? What was that called? The MOQ? What does that mean?
The MOQ, I'm sorry, is your minimum order quantity for whatever you're going to make.
Gotcha.
Good. Yeah. So minimum order quantity for plastic goods is usually a higher number because you're going to be using, I said, a steel tool. And to make steel tools, especially at a factory level, to make a lot of units, the only way to profit is by selling a lot of them to make the money back that you put in. That's how you profit. So a roundabout number, you want to make like 1,500 to 2,000 if you're going to be going plastic. So since I'm not making that many units and I'm only doing a small little run of my figures, it's better for me to make them out of resin because I could just do a quick silicone mold, and the molds will last for about 40 to 50 units. And so once you cast the pieces, sand them, clean them up, then it goes to paint. And I do want to shout out my buddy Lando Wilkins. He goes by Uncle Scro on Instagram. Uncle Scro. He paints. He's been painting all of my figures. He painted the Captain Jacksons. He painted Jamie Star. He painted. He's working on Torture currently. Amazing painter. So check him out.
Is that each sculpture?
He's hand painting each one of mine. So. Super skill set, and he's got it down. Let me tell you a little bit about Lando. First of all, you want to talk about dance? He was a world-known choreographer in the dance hip-hop community too. World-known. If you look him up on YouTube, Lando Wilkins, mind will be blown. This guy's an amazing dancer. I met him at a Comic-Con years and years ago through working at my old job for a toy manufacturing company. We both hit it off. Love all the same things from everything we've been talking about today. And he got into painting figures, wanted to get into the toy game more, a little less from the dance game. and the rest is history. So we've been working together for several years now, and yeah, he kills it on the paints.
Wait, man. He did the battle. He judged the battle thing, man.
He judges battles around the world.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, man, this brother's bad, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We got him too. If another Blerd episode, let me know. He'll be ready.
You gotta get him, man. Sure. What is this about dancing? And even there's another brother named Moonbeam. He's out of the Bay. He's a filmmaker, but also he's a hip hop dancer, man.
Yeah. I feel like dance is just such a creative art form that opens up your mind to so many different avenues of creativeness as well. You know what I mean? But so Lando kills it for me. He goes by Uncle Scro on his paint account. And he one thing I want to say about him that, again, he's, you find people that you work with that have that same mindset, and he's really big on detail and always trying to raise the bar. And he travels the world with dance, but when he gets to do that, he's also looking for different paints that they have in different parts of the world.
Wow.
So he comes back home with paints most dudes won't even know about here in the United States, because he got it from Taiwan, or he got paints from Korea, or all these different countries. And so that's cool. So he works on all that type the paints for me, does a good job, and he's working on Torture right now. So after it gets through paints with him, because that's a huge skill and job in its own, is being a painter. Usually in the toy manufacturing world, you have a paint master is what they call it, and that paint master will paint 1 or 2 really clean prototypes for you. You send those off to a factory, and then all the factory workers have to replicate what the paint master gives you. So your paint master always has to be the baddest dude. And usually if it's at a factory level, you have a paint master in-house. That paint master is overseeing all the other painters, making sure that they make it look like all the rest of these figures. So that's the job of the painter.
That's great. And just real quick too, just like how you're breaking it down, it's like it's so collaborative. It just reminds me so much of like film, how like so many important pieces are involved that you might not even think about. And obviously you're well versed, and I assume that you've learned a lot of this from working with some of these companies, right?
Yes. So I didn't get to say too much about the past experience, but what it was I got out of college, I was dancing. I was working in the LA Unified School District with kids. I was teaching kids dance and art. I did that for several years, and while I was in college and right when I got out, and then I got hit up by one of my professors in college. I thought I would be really good at this job opportunity. This company was looking to hire some fresh talent. That was Soda Toys, state-of-the-art toys, and also known as Multiverse Studio. And I went to this interview, and I ended up getting the gig, landed the job, and I worked there at Multiverse for 7 years. And I learned so much. Luckily they were a smaller company, so I got to wear a lot of different hats. And so I learned so much because I got to go to China several times, to go to the factories to see how things were made firsthand.
You saw the secrets. You saw the secrets.
All of it, man. And
the secrets.
I got to work with so many different companies. That's how I got to know people from Sony, Bandai Namco. I got to see people from Capcom. Capcom and I got really close, and that's when I ended up getting to do a lot of work for them even afterwards, and as my own independent artist. So I worked in the toy company for several years, and that's when I really learned. I started off as a product developer, and after 7 years, I'd worked my way up. I had become the general manager of that company. And so after all that, that's when I said, you know what? I wanted to continue to challenge myself and on my own journey. And I said, I think I can make a run at this doing toy manufacturing and toy design independently on my own and be my own boss. And that's what I've been doing now for the past year and a half and I've loved it. And it's been a roller coaster, and then it's a learning process. But again, like, it's just one of those things now where I'm on leash now. I have the freedom to do all my own stuff and make all my own contacts. So that's where I'm at right now.
That's great. That would be because Royce was asking a question. I'm amazed because there's so much information. Like you said, why does somebody pay you what they pay you? To learn, that's not a normal path. Even right now, even somebody's in the game, they still have to learn a lot of stuff you're doing. You're talking about the toys and the painting and the master painting. A lot of people can't throw the information. Was that Multiverse? Was working in that smaller company that, like, wow, I didn't know down the road this would be such a great experience.
Yes.
To know so many things.
Yeah. So, I mean, I owe I give a lot of thanks to Multiverse and the employees there because, like I said, I started off as a product developer designer. So I was just doing more illustrative work. I was learning already the ropes of how many steps toy manufacturing took, all the different process. But most of all, what I always say is I learned that more than your skills, more than your talents, it's just as important to be personable and make relationships with people and build relationships.
Yeah.
Because when I was going to these conventions and I was having meetings with these companies, if they don't like you already, first and foremost, they're most likely going to already have a hard time working with you, or they're not going to enjoy working with you. But if you could get to talking to people and you get, develop friendships or even working friendships, and you're personable, people are more likely to work with you, and the biggest thing is just being polite and well-mannered. And that goes a long way, especially in the industry. And that's what I did. And I just continued to get, build these relationships with people that were like, man, we like Miguel over at Multiverse, or Miguel always hooks it up for me. He works hard, or he's always on top of emails, or this guy always stays on top of these projects. And after a while, like even my own bosses took notice of that. They're like, you know what, Miguel's killing it. He's always emailing people back fast. He keeps himself organized. He's got
people notice that stuff.
Yeah. So like, that's
people
when I started doing
stuff.
Project management and learning more and more. And then, going to taking several trips overseas and seeing how things work in the factories. And it also was very humbling for me. I mean, going over there and seeing the way some of these factories are ran and how the factory workers live, it was just like, it was really third world in certain areas of China where the factories are. I would come back and just be like, man, if people only knew how bad some people have it, you'd be like, man, I'm happy to live where I do. Some of these factory workers where I was at, their weekend was like, they lived at the factory and their weekend was like having a soda and playing badminton in the parking lot. That was a fun weekend for them. You know what I mean? Like, it was nothing. There was nothing there for them. And they live at the factory, and they work from Monday to Saturday at most factories. So they only get Sunday off. And it was interesting to see, like I said, and I'm glad I experienced that several times. And I would even develop relationships with some of the people at certain factories, and, eat meals with them and all this type of stuff. Again, I feel like it molds you into a very, strong individual for what you do and what you're passionate about. I see a lot of artists out there. They like to design, they like to draw, but then it ends there. They don't know where to take it after that. Or some guys know, like, I want to animate, but I don't know what else I want to do with it. Or some guys love to sculpt, but they're like, I don't know what else I should do. I love also being able to, facilitate a team of Avengers, of strong people, and make something creative and fun and cool. That's also a strength I feel that I've learned throughout, all my years of what I do.
Absolutely.
I love what you said about the team. I love what you said about the team. And also you said something that I always call Royce my Renaissance man.
Yeah.
They're more well-rounded. Remember back in the day, that's not a term you hear much with your generation. Well-rounded. When I was coming up, be well-rounded. Be well-rounded. Well-rounded is a word that people throw away. Now everybody does one thing. I'm influenced by this. Well-rounded means no matter where I go, I'm gonna get a job. I used to tell my dad, I'll find a gig no matter where I go. I'm not scared to learn stuff. I'm not scared because I'll take what I have. Now you and Royce, like both of you, you communicate well. Miguel, you're so likable. You're so personable. You work hard, and that's a rarity in this game. I just want you to know it's rare. I meet some people that's creative in this game. I said, damn, I wish I could sit with this dude and eat breakfast. I wish this cat was a cat I could sit with, man. Dude, there's so much in your head, and if you could talk, we could do so much. And then I had to let certain people go because they just were so in here. They were so closed off. And like, you and Royce are so much like Royce has Royce has a 3D printer. Royce has a 3D printer.
I told you.
Royce has a 3D printer, man.
I told you about that.
Okay. It's like a form lab.
Form. I'm still learning though. I'm still trying to figure it out. So that's why.
Here we go.
Right. But yeah, no, it's just so amazing to kind of hear that process. And then obviously, going back to the action figures, you also have the packaging and things like that. But I'll let you hold on to that because that's I feel like that's your secret. That's your extra sauce that you put on
power,
it.
Man.
You know what? And I love to share. I love to share. A few wise men have once told me too. They're like, you know what, Miguel, don't feel bad for sharing because you can share all you want. But it's up to that person. It's a lot of work and it's a lot of discipline, and you can know all the tricks and tips and secrets, but are you willing to put in the work and to do it all and to stay disciplined? Because, that's something I take a lot of pride in is like, man, I try to stay on schedule and discipline with all that I do. I make if there's anything I could tell anyone that wants to do some type of product management, whether it's toys or whatever, is I keep an Excel sheet of each project I'm working on, and I make sure I have everything dated, even if it's as far as something that's a verbal communication from someone. Because I learned in the industry that people, you know, there's always bad experiences and people that might be snakes or sharks out there, and they'll try to change up what they said or which was agreed upon. And I always have my Excel sheet to say, oh, no, you have right here an email back on April 2nd.
Yeah, man.
You said this, and that, and that's what we agreed upon. You know, like there's a lot of things you learn the hard way, and that's okay. You know, I try to always think of negatives. That
paper trail.
That's right. The paper trail.
Dude, the paper trail. I used to be first man. Forget that. It says, Sinbad, you got a great memory, but people don't care about your memory. The paper trail is what make people go like this. Oh, do you sign this? Oh, I remember that. It stops all conversations and it stops all anger, because once I show you that on paper,
that's it.
What you're gonna do is, it's like when they videotape the Karens. She can't go, I didn't say that. It's right here. Oh my God, let me apologize. Even if they don't mean the apology, they got you. They got you.
That's it. Same thing in product management. So, you know, like I said, I mean, after, just to finish it up for anyone out there, after paint, I get the figures, and after they're painted, I take like glamour shots and photos also to promote them. And I do package design, like Roy said, and that's a whole skill in itself, is graphic design and packaging.
Dude, you do everything, man.
Glamour shots.
So I took this photo. I took this photo at about like 6:30 in the morning. I woke up early in the morning to get some good light, and my buddy,
look at that. You got the depth of field on it. You can't see I love this, man.
Nerdy Chavez and I, we like import figures from Japan. We think they look cool. So I got the imported Moonwalker VHS from Japan. So, and I made sure with I have some friends that speak and read Japanese, and they're like, that says Moonwalker. I wanted to make sure. So that's Moonwalker in Japanese. If you see it on the Torture promos, it says Moonwalker in Japanese.
All right, let me throw that back up.
Yeah, there you go. So,
that's dope.
Because nothing worse than get a tattoo like that, and it meant like man who is too tall.
Yeah,
you know what it says, right?
Yeah, you know that says you get drunk every Saturday night, right?
Right.
Damn. No, but so after packaging, it's all about just pushing it out with all the extra goodies I love to do. Even Torture, I told everyone on the pre-order for Torture that it'll come with stickers and a pin and a certificate of authenticity, but I have a few more surprises I'm going to give everyone when it arrives at their door, so I'm excited for that too.
That's
cool, man.
That's dope.
That's cool, man.
Thank you for sharing all that, because it's so much. And that's the reason why I wanted to focus specifically on the toys, because the process that goes in it, and it also deals with your drawing and your designs as well. So it kind of encompasses everything. But I do want to get into some of your drawings, obviously not too much, because we don't want for this to go too long. We can go for like 5 hours, but
man.
I know.
I want to go back because, like you, I think, Dad, like you were saying, being well-rounded, and Miguel, really, if you know,
even one of the most well-rounded people you're probably one of the best, and I mean that in this business.
Wow,
you're probably one of the most well-rounded cats, and it's a young dude. For you to be, because I try to tell people, there's stages of your life when you're young, not married, maybe not kids. You can't go to China. You can't just say, I'm up, I'm going. I keep trying to tell young dudes, don't waste. Don't waste that period of time when it's just you, and you can be selfish. You can sleep on the couch and it doesn't hurt anybody. And you didn't eat, and you didn't shave, you didn't care, because you know what? You don't get that for a long run. The learning curve, you don't get long where it's not affecting other people.
Yes.
Then if you have a relationship, even not even being married, you got a relationship like, oh, China again? Going to China again? So you got your little toys.
I know there's some little girls out there in China running after you. There's some ladies in China. Huh? They're like, oh, come on. No.
Man, come on.
Yeah. And so,
I'm trying to get my packaging straight.
Right. Even if you didn't even do the toys, like, again, I just want to pull this up again, just his website, miguelwilsonart.com. Like, your illustrations are amazing. Those are some of the drawings you're talking about with the Blade and all that stuff, some of the John Wick. Like, just your art style in general is so awesome. And a lot of those, like, 90s characters.
Put that Thriller Killer. Bring that Thriller Killer back down, Roy. Bring that Thriller Killer back down. Oh,
I can't. It's a video. I can't do it. I do want to bring this up too, because like even like those characters you were talking about, you turn them into stickers. And we went to San Diego Comic-Con together last year. Yeah, you gave me a lot of fun. Awesome. But yeah, you were selling these online, but then people were coming up to you like you had drugs. Like, hey, you got that John Wick sticker? I need that John Wick sticker.
I think I posted a video of me slinging stickers out of my backpack.
Right.
And I had on there, I'm a hustler. I'm a
hustler,
exactly. Playing with the video, right?
Right. So like literally, like you're taking your skill set, and it's just like you're even finding other ways to reach people. So they're not just learning about your art; they're also learning about like Miguel the person and what you're doing. And I'll just throw this up here too. This other design, which thriller inspired.
Yes.
Right? And then
killer.
Exactly, and then turn that into a T-shirt. Shout out to Joey Diggs.
Joey Diggs Jr. right there,
being the model there. So it's like you got so many designs, so many different things that you're doing, which is just so cool to like show your skill set. And like I said, you got the pins, and you got the pins that you did for my dad.
Cool,
right
Love
there,
man. Dude, hey, look, when I had my do like that. People were freaking, man, on the old school new school. The new school, they're like, dude, that's you.
Right, exactly.
Dude, it's wrong, but it's right.
You captured in that profile image, like you captured my dad, old school and new school so well, man. And so like that, I just wanted to shout that out as well.
Another thing to mention what Royce was saying is sometimes I keep the John Wick stickers on me, just like a calling card, because people love them so much. So when I get to know somebody or I talk with them, I say, hey, here's a sticker, and they'll be like, oh, I love John Wick, or this is cool. Yeah, thanks. And I give them that with a card or something just to, for them to remember me by. And I want to say this because I know I always say everything's a balance, because I'm not going out there either like I'm trying to sell my latest mixtape on CD. Like, hey, you guys want to see this? You gotta want this? You want that?
Yeah.
You can't come on too strong either with people.
Right.
I pick and choose my timing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I get to know someone, or I get to talk to them first, let them know maybe what I do, or if I'm interested in what they do. And we talk as people first. And then if it's going well and it's the right time and moment, hey, check this out, or this is for you. I want to give you this. It's all timing. You can't come on too strong and people be like, oh, dude, this dude's like crazy. He's coming on too strong. You know what I mean? So it is about a balance and learning to read the room and when to speak up and when to stay quiet and when to listen. So that's something else that I've learned as well,
I love but you're smart. The swag, you go like this. Hey man, I make these pens.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I love them pens.
Hey, don't come out of nowhere sometimes. You know who this is?
Right. you let your work speak for you, man.
I'm like the old and living color. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm fresh out of cards, but bam, I got the John Wick sticker.
What now? I love it. And again, you could have stopped there, but like I said, you even have the pins and all that stuff. And I just want to shout out this one last pin because you blew my mind with this pin. I'm just gonna pull it up. So,
man.
The UFO 2 pin.
Yeah.
Inspired by and Pennywise. And if you guys
some people look at this now. Some people can't look at clown. You just jacked some people up.
Oh, I know. I did.
You just jacked the folks up on the spot right now, bro.
Now, for people who don't know, that string, if you pull down on it, the face on the balloon actually changes. Yeah. So this man Miguel literally made a pin where you pull it down, it changes. And I actually have
and Royce did the video for me. You put it out there. Royce did the cinematography and the video editing.
On a video, and I'm gonna pull it up. This is a promo for this pin that you can get at MiguelWilsonArt.com. Shameless plug. But I just want to play this real quick.
We had fun shooting this. There's the figures in the back. You can leave if you call them dogs.
Yeah, no. Right. But yeah, this pin was so nice. I was like, we got to collab. So we did this video together. And you can see like the detail he puts in the packaging and everything.
Royce with special effects.
I'm so glad we pulled off that shot. And bam, there's the face. The face change. Crazy.
Yeah, y'all just destroyed some folks right now. Y'all just destroyed some people.
At Designer Con. This man Miguel is no joke. This man Miguel is no joke. Like the stuff that you do, man, and that just pops out of your mind. And because I remember you told me like, yeah, man, I saw this one pin, it can move and you can do this. So I think I'm gonna do it. I'm like, oh, okay. So you just see something, you're like, I'm gonna do that.
I can't wait till I get to work with you in my I call my last third of my life performing, because I got so many ideas I have not yet done for whatever reason, and I don't know why it didn't happen, but I am. It's two things I know I'm gonna do. I'm doing this vampire character. Royce knows. I'm gonna be the oldest action. I ain't giving this up.
No,
because the action vampire. When I get the concept, I want one. But dude, look, because Arnold Schwarzenegger jacked me up on the Dementor dial.
Yes,
there was a Dementor dial, and it was his dial, and he gave me the prototype dial. I ain't supposed to talk about this, but he gave me the prototype dial, and then he took it back from me. Said they're gonna make more. Took it off the market.
Right.
It's a shame.
The people like the Dementor dial
So much.
I just want to make a Dementor dial.
Everybody wants that.
Show the power. Everybody wants a Dementor dial, bro.
Just make
I drew Dementor.
We should just do it, dude. We should just do it till we get a cease and desist.
There
and
it
I'll
is.
say, huh?
Let's do it.
I said, huh?
Gather a pre-order and get 5,000 pre-orders, then say what now? That's it.
And you know what? They might jump on board and say, well, hey, you know what? It's out there. They want it.
Mm-hmm.
Just bring us in.
Yeah. Just do it. Just make it happen.
I will fill out the trunk of my car.
Just give me the word.
Trunk of my car. You won't stop us. When we like rappers, you won't stop us.
Yep.
Exactly, man. Yeah. So Miguel, thank you for all the amazing wisdom that you've shared with us on the show.
Thanks for having me.
All the collaboration between us, pimping my dad out with these super dope pins.
Yes, man.
You've helped me with pins for my comics. I know we didn't get a chance to talk about that, but there's just so much. And one thing how I like to end the show is in as few words as possible, if you could just break down what growing up being a Blerd meant to you. And though you may not be black, you're still a Blerd, so it's all good.
You're Blerd, brother. You're Blerd, man. Men of color.
Right.
Exactly. Growing up, what it meant to me, it was the air I breathed. Everything my mom said growing up, everything through my eyes was magical. When I watched a cartoon, when I watched a movie, I believed it. To this day, I like to watch movies and don't think about anything going on in life and just kind of be in the movie, be in the moment. That's why I love all the the heroes, the dramas, the suspenseful movies. My emotions are in there. And growing up, that's how it was with cartoons, comic books, artwork. And like I said, it brought a lot of joy to my heart. And growing up now, being able to bring that joy to other people by designing and creating things like that, that's a good life for me, just to be able to share what I do creatively and share that with other people. So that's what it means to me, just being able to share that.
I love it, man.
Man, that's so cool, brother.
That's so cool. So where can people keep up with you other than MiguelWilsonArt.com?
Right. MiguelWilsonArt.com. I post most of my social media and updates all on Instagram is what I mostly use. That's just my name together, Miguel Wilson. And I don't really use Twitter, but if you're on that, it's Miguel Wilson 1. And that's it.
But you won't be there. But you won't be there, right?
No, no. I'm not going to pay attention to all this crazy Twitter madness. But if you want to see what I would have looked like on there, it's Miguel Wilson 1. But and then TikTok, I mess around on there sometimes. I like to have fun and do a little acting or dancing.
I was asking you dancing on TikTok,
on TikToks. Yeah, so it's Miguel.Wilson85 on TikTok, and I'm usually acting a fool or having a good time on there. So if you're on that too, the young kids.
Love it. And if people are thinking all the figures that we've shown, they're all sold out, right? You can't get any more.
Everything that we've shown is sold out. Torture sold out last week, but I have a lot in store for coming up in the future. New figures, new products. So, follow me. I'm always posting updates on what I'm working on and what's going to be coming next. So, hang out. And I try to get back to as many people as I can. People comment on my posts and DM. That's one thing I take pride into is, I want to be reachable. So I talk to people, people ask me about toys, people ask me about certain careers they're getting into, and I try to give them some hopefully decent advice.
Love it, man. Cool. I love it. And for us, if you want to keep up with Blerd Empire, we're at Blerd Empire on every social media. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Blerd Empire. This is where we show our visual versions of the podcast. You can watch our podcasts and listen to them. So definitely subscribe on YouTube to our visual podcast, and then also to our audio podcast on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcast.
Whatever, but I don't care. Yeah, whatever you listen to. Whatever you listen to.
Yeah.
Thanks again, guys. Thank you to both of you guys again.
Absolutely. And again,
thank you, man.
MiguelWilsonArt.com. The figures aren't available anymore, but still got shirts, still got pins, still got a bunch of dope stuff.
Not figures,
but stickers, things like that.
Yeah, stickers too, right?
Stickers too, yep.
Stickers too.
Yeah, we just showed you the figures to make you feel bad about yourself.
Right.
Patches. I do patches.
Right.
Like you can
all right.
everything.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
So we showed you guys that. So the next time he puts up his figures, y'all know what's about. You need to get on that pre-order quick.
Yeah.
Well, they need to follow it. They need to follow him now. You need to go follow him so you can be on top of the game when they come out.
Exactly.
There it is.
And again, I know we talked about the dancing a lot, but I was holding it until the end because I feel like let's just play it out to Miguel.
Yeah.
And if you're listening, obviously you can't watch it. You could just jam out to the cool grooves that he's dancing to. So without further ado, this is you at Designer Con.
Oh man, had a little crowd at the booth.
Exactly.
With the hip hop trooper. Shout out to him.
Hip hop troopers. So thank you guys again for watching and listening to Blerd Empire, and we'll catch y'all in the next one.
Dance you out.
Here we go.
Killing it.
Man, my pelvis will hurt. And got the fanny pack.
That's right. My buddy Trooper comes by. Trooper was like, "Man, I thought you were gonna go the whole song." I was like, "I could have. You gonna tell me to stop?" He's like, "You won't stop it."
Look right, man. How you make the tennis shoes? Do you put the wax on the bottom of the tennis shoes? Get stuck, man.
So the Trooper comes by my booth every year when we get down. That's why he's already hitting his poses. He's like, "I know what this dude's doing. Go ahead, Miguel. Look at him back there."
Just killing it.
Oh, dude. That's so damn cool, brother.
Thanks, man.
And that's you could tell you're tired.